Welcome back to the break room. We back for another night, another session. Impromptu. Cuz hit me up. Impromptu. Cuz hit me up. Cuz like, yo, you want to rap real quick. So I'm down to rap. Shout out to you, Cuz. Anyway, we got my cuz Andy, an original member, the premier member of the break room. You already know what the break room was about. Pardon me, I got the incense burning in my lungs. My bad.
Yeah, you
But
gotta
Andy,
move
talk
that
to me.
from your face, cuz.
Yeah, I'm smoking. But talk to me. What's going on with you?
The man just here in the A, it's cold. It snowed for a little bit yesterday. I mean,
Did it?
just a little flurry. Yeah.
I gotta hit our cousin T John because I saw in North Carolina they got hit.
Yeah. A
I
lot
saw
of
they got
lot of
hit.
other places, Linas, I think
The
like
southeast.
Tennessee, a lot of them places.
But hear me out. Last weekend, pretty much from New York and New England down to like DC, Maryland, Virginia, and Philly, we got hit bad. The East Coast. Did y'all feel that, or y'all it didn't touch y'all?
Last weekend, that was when they were, state of emergency and made everybody panic because of the ice. It was ice, dry ice everywhere, black ice. The roads is gonna be so everybody was in a panic last weekend.
Mm,
We all went to the store, bought everything, all the foolishness. You know how it goes.
right. But y'all were
Yeah.
good though.
But it was good. It was icy. It was icy on the roads, but wasn't that bad. People were still door dashing and stuff. And then this weekend they don't say nothing. They just say like, "Oh, it might snow," and then it's like it was snowing all off and on yesterday.
I feel like in the
So
last part of my ignorance, but I feel like in the last couple years, the South has really gotten more snow than I was used to hearing about when I was like in my teens or my early 20s. So I gotta ask you, you've been down there for a while. Have you like adjusted to like having a shovel in the crib? Are you like about that life, that winter life, or you don't keep a shovel, you don't keep stuff ready?
I mean, when I moved, I moved early. And Florida, you didn't need no shovel, and then when I moved to Atlanta, it don't really snow like that. There was one year where it snowed crazy, where you might have needed a shovel, but nah, I don't own a shovel.
But you
I'm
don't want
not
to be a
worried. I'm not
you know
worried about.
you're not worried, but well, obviously you're original New York native, but let me tell you, bro, you don't want to be here right now because, like I said, last week we had a blizzard. It was like a blizzard esque. It was like a little
Yeah, I
mini
saw
blizzard.
everybody posting their videos.
Yeah, it was fun the first day, but the problem was, and it was cool because we had Monday off from school for the kids, so that was cool. But the problem is like in the past couple of years, when you had like snow days or whatever, or like a snow event, it'll last a day, and then like later on that week, you'll get 35 degrees, 40 degrees, or if you're lucky, like 40 degrees, but 35 degrees, 30 degrees, where it's enough sunshine to eventually, bit by bit,
Melted.
melt
Melted
melt the
down.
snow and melt the ice. Son, for the last 7 to 10 days, it's been 0 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees. If you're
Damn,
lucky,
it's like 20 here.
I wish it was 20. Yo, it's been like 9 degrees, 18. If you're lucky, 18 degrees. And like you need to go outside with this ski mask, scully, everything. Like you can't walk outside with your bare face. No, you're gonna feel it. So that's where we are right now. And I mentioned that because, when it's like those single digits or like even 20 degrees, it's not cold enough for the snow and ice to melt. So right now, what you got going on in the New York streets right now is a lot of snow and ice just staying there, not melting, and that fucks up parking. That fucks up just like, moving around, being mobile. So it's a hassle right now because usually when it snows, like, all right, we're gonna have a good day midweek with some sunshine where it'll melt.
So let me do a quick Google search. Let me see who's nominated for the hip hop category.
Hip hop, well, the rap album already just happened. Kendrick won the rap album for rap album of the year. He was nominated alongside Clips, Tyler. I can't recall who else, but he won amongst his contemporaries. But I expect the GNX to win. I expected. I mean, even though the Clips had a great year, Clips had a great year. You know what I'm saying? Especially for Malice. Malice was able to really shine and get his just due as an artist because historically, through the Clips tenure, it was always like Pusha getting the notoriety as the premier MC. Miles had a great year as he shined more. I think he shined more than Pusha on the album. But regardless, they lost out. They lost out in the rap album category, but they did win for like rap performance or something like that for Chains and Whips with Kendrick. So they won like 2 Grammys, I think, this off camera awards. Yeah, I mean, I was really like watching the Grammys really because I wanted to see what Leon Thomas would win because I felt like Leon Thomas as an R&B artist had a great breakout year. You know what I'm saying? He's a child actor. He did Disney, I guess, in the 2000s or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a child actor. Leon Thomas did kids shows, I guess. I mean, I was already out of high school by '03, so I didn't really watch these shows, but I just knew that
That
he,
that's why I don't know, 'cause we were
yeah, we were
already
outside.
over cartoons, yeah.
Yeah, we were outside. Yeah, we were outside, but he was a working child or teenage actor.
Oh, he the Backyardigans.
That and then he did some live action stuff for other shows or whatever. So he's an actor. I mean, like I said, it was mostly
Well, he guest starred in iCarly too.
he was in that world. He was in that world, that Disney world. But he reinvented himself as a professional
Yeah,
musician. I think
his song is all
yeah,
has
Mutt
been all over
Mutt,
for
yeah.
ever since it dropped. It's been all over.
Yes.
Good song, good song.
Good song. He had a great album. I have to tell you, the album was dope. And like I said, he had a great breakout year where he kind of was able to emerge as a serious artist. You know what I'm saying? So I was happy to see him like get his look. He won some awards too, here and there. He didn't win Best New Artist. Best New Artist went to this young lady from England, from London. Her name is Olivia Dean. She's like a black British chick. So she won. We were watching because some of the people that were nominated, I don't know these people, but Lauren does. So Lauren knows who Cat's Eye is. She knows who Addison Ray is and these other names. I'm like, who's that? Who's this? Who's that? So it brought me back to thinking like 35 years ago, 35 years ago, I was that same kid, watching, award shows, whether it's MTV, Emmys, whatever, American Music Awards. And I used to look and see who's going to perform, who's showing up. Was there anybody growing up that you would like watch the award show and look out for that you wanted to see, like either perform or get a look? For me, it was always Michael Jackson. For me, it was always MJ. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that that might be it, really. I wasn't back then I was into Rough Riders and Cash Money, you know what I mean? So if it and, so little bit of Dipset, you know, if it wasn't those people, I really didn't care about seeing them on TV and perform, But it was dope seeing all those artists and stuff perform back then on those shows because it was different. It would be a different, basically music video type. You know what I mean? Like seeing different artists. Diddy. Even though his situation now, but like he would always put on a big show. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I definitely had those. Though I would look for certain people too who look like me, who were on the stage. So like you said, a lot of hip hop acts. I would look for, and I would look for hip hop recognition. You know what I'm saying? If it was a big platform, to see like, are they gonna front on hip hop? Are they gonna show it its just due? I think now we're in an era where like the predecessors of the past, the pioneers, they definitely paved the way for the newer acts to get their just due even more. So for instance, I read tonight Kendrick has already surpassed Jay-Z with 25 awards for the Grammys, where I guess Jay had 25 as a hip hop artist. So it's like seeing that like the fruits of the labor of the past are now allowing these new people to get on and get on with more nominations because nowadays rap has more categories. Where back then, you probably had rap album and rap song performance, whatever. And now there's all these there's all these
subcategories
yeah,
now.
many subcategories. So it's like it's just more of a way for artists to get recognition. And I understand people be like, "Yo, why do you even care who gets nominated? Because those are not our awards or whatever." But I do think that whether it's the Oscars, the Academy Awards for film, or it's the Grammys for music, you having a nomination or award attached to your name, it can give you cachet. It can open doors for you. It can sustain your business. You know what I'm saying? It can legitimize your business. So I'm always for it. I'm always for people getting their recognition on these platforms. But I know some people don't. What do you think?
Think that I wish that these were really judged by the people. For example, the Grammys have a Grammy Academy, a certain group of people, and those are the judges. Those are who's going to pick who's going to be the winner of each category. And I believe some of the voting has something to do with it. But yeah, I just really wish it was like voting. I mean, even though voting is rigged too, but we
Yeah,
won't go there.
it is.
But like voting, just everybody puts there's a website online, there's a number to call, everybody puts their votes in, and
Right.
whoever gets the most wins. I wish it was like that, and that would be more authentic. It wouldn't feel so scripted, and it would be the truth. I think it would be like really what the people want. Like, this is what the people want. This is what they said. This is who they voted for. So yeah, I wish it was like that, but
You want a more inclusive voting where you mean the everyday people, like actual fans, get this?
the actual fans. Anybody, like, we all know the Grammys is every year. So hey, I'm Kendrick Lamar. I'm running for a Grammy. You're a Kendrick Lamar fan. You want him to win. You're a fan.
Right, right.
They give you the option to vote. You put your vote in. He wins. Now you feel like, you are a part of something too. You know what I'm saying?
As I recognize and I kind of agree with your viewpoint, I'm also a little nervous of fans, or should I say stands, a la Eminem. And the reason why I say that is because, well, first let me say this: when I saw the Grammy Award be presented like a half an hour ago for Best New Artist, they have prefaced it by saying, I guess Chapel Roan, whatever her name is, she presented it, and she had said that this award was voted upon 15,000 members of the Grammy board. So I guess it's like random people. I know Ebro, formerly of Hot 97, he says he's a voter, and Ninth Wonder, the producer's a voter. So I guess along the music community, there's like 15,000 people who can vote on different awards or subjects. Take that with with what you will. But I will say this: I'm nervous about having fan input because as a basketball fan, as an NBA fan, when every February is the All-Star break where, All-Stars get selected to go to the All-Star game, right? And you get chosen in three ways. You get chosen by fans. Fans get a vote. They get the most vote probably. Then you get a coach's vote, all the coaches in the league. And I think the last one is the media vote, I believe. But it's like definitely it's a three-pronged vote. A lot of times with the fan vote, they'll try to vote in an all-star who does not deserve to be there, but because they're like either stylish or they got like millions of followers, or they got their hair dyed a certain way, or whatever, they get included by fans. Or like even in the 2000s in the Houston Rockets, you had this tall Chinese dude, Yao Ming. He would always get voted in because China is a big ass nation and they're proud. But he never played. He was always hurt. So it's like, why you gonna nominate a dude who never plays? But because fans are allowed, it's a skewed vote. So that's why I'm always funny about voting. Like, listen, Nicki Minaj has, and we're gonna talk about it later. She has a big barb like fan lineage of people who are just ghouls out there online all day, disrupting people with me. If they,
Yeah,
God
that
forbid,
could be. I'm starting to see that could play a part in it too.
yeah,
Popularity, because
popularity, yeah,
what you said, you brought up Eminem, so it's like, of
I mean,
course, if more white people, they're gonna
yeah.
be voting. So yeah, I could see how that could be tricky.
Eminem's a great example. You want to know why? Listen, in high school, junior high and high school, I was a Eminem fan. You know what I'm saying? But after the Eminem Show, which is like 2002. Every album since is like, or like, terrible. But he's always selling records. He's a constant business, and you cannot tell me it's purely because of meritocracy, because the actual music is that great. No, he's always number one, and he always sells out because his fans just come out and just support, regardless of the product he actually puts in stores or puts online. Like they just rob it and whatever. You can't trust fans because sometimes fans don't even judge by the art. They just judge because they're loyal. So it's funny, but I get your point though. You do want to see some diversity in the voting. I understand that for sure. But with that being said, I just find it funny how, like, 30 years ago, we were those kids watching certain award shows and looking to see who is being represented that we rock with. And now 30 years later, I got my daughter Lauren like telling me, "Oh, that's Cat's Eye, and she better win." I'm like, "Why should she win?" And she's trying to explain to me how her song is dope or whatever. I'm like, "All right, if you say so." I'm not tapped
I gotta
in.
listen. I gotta check that out. Is that an artist?
Her name is Cat's Eye, Katseye, and then there's another one called Addison Rae,
Heard
Rae.
of Addison Ray.
Yeah, I didn't know her. I didn't know Olivia Dean. I didn't know Olivia Dean. I didn't know a bunch of people. But I'm glad I don't know them.
It's so crazy. I talk about it all the time, man. It's so crazy how there are, there can be another artist out there with millions of fans, followers, you know, and you never heard of them.
Absolutely. We are in an era, in a digital era where we are just all divested away from each other. We're all just in our own worlds, our own bubbles, and we're all siloed off. And some would say they long for the day where we were all together consuming content because it made great water cooler conversation at work. It made for great, just
I
camaraderie.
just talked about this a little bit in this content I was making. So we talk about this all the time. There are no shows on TV that show music videos.
No, there's no more.
So music videos back then, premieres, it was like an event. I
Yep.
know you could probably remember where you were when, maybe Thriller, we were young, but Beat It,
But you remember,
I
remember the
remember,
time?
like, and even more current music videos. I'll just say the first, like, I remember when Mace and Diddy, More Money, More Problems, when that music video first dropped, like, that was a big deal. It was like when Michael Jackson dropped a new music video, it would be premiering on the news.
The news, yeah.
It would be
On
everywhere.
that was on network television,
Network television.
not cable TV, network television,
So
terrestrial television.
you feel
Yeah.
me? So like after those, like people used to record it on they VCR, and that was the topic,
Hmm.
for a couple weeks. So, nowadays it's here for a good week or two, and it's on to the next.
For I have a clear memory of early 90s, either 92, 91, I don't know, maybe 91, where Michael Jackson, Remember the Time, world premiere, in the evening, and my mom, who's turning
Big
70
deal.
this my mom who turned 70 this week, this Wednesday, February 4th, so shout out to her.
Happy birthday.
My Yeah, happy birthday, mom. My mom made sure we all sat down and got prepared to watch together with dinner. And that's how much of an event it was. And I guess we've lost that as a culture, as an American culture, where we're all siloed off into different worlds. We don't have a unique place to come together to watch videos. Everybody watches videos on YouTube now at their own time, at their own leisure. And I think it takes away from some of the camaraderie we had as adolescents with music. I remember when 9/11 happened, obviously it was a hectic day as far as a tragedy, but that day was also when Fabulous, but more importantly, Jay-Z dropped albums. Then Jay dropped the Blueprint, and I remember just being at school and that whole week, like talking to friends in the classroom, what's your favorite track, whatever, and we're all experiencing it live together, in unison, and that's kind of gone. That's kind of gone. We don't get those moments anymore, not really. So that sucks. That's what sucks.
There were certain moments in hip hop that felt like that. More recently, Kendrick, when he dropped the Not Like Us
Yeah,
music video,
yeah,
or like I'll take it back, or like Childish Gambino, This Is America. You know what
true.
I'm saying? That kind of, had everybody talking about it. Everybody, everywhere.
Right.
So Tyler, the Creator, sometimes, a lot, all his music videos are amazing, but sometimes when he drops, it's a big deal. So there are certain artists, that when they drop their music videos, the world kind of stands still.
Yeah, I mean, definitely when we had the battle 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago now, that was a thing where we were all forced to consume the content together, react in real time. Some reacted professionally on YouTube, regardless, react in real time, converse about it. Uh, that was fun. But yeah, it's definitely coming sparingly. Speaking of the battle, while we're here, J. Cole last Monday, he dropped a mixtape, like a 4-track mixtape. And it was definitely an homage to the DJ Clue era of mixtapes where, for the kids who are watching, once upon a time, mixtapes were not governed by an artist. They weren't governed by an artist. They were governed by the DJ. They were curated by a DJ. So whether it's a doo-wop, Kid Capri, DJ Clue, Green Lantern, I'm forgetting mixtapes, but Envy later on. So many DJs from like the 90s to the early 2000s, Big Mike, and even not just in the Northeast. You had DJs in the South. What's my man's name from Texas?
DJ Drama.
Well, DJ Drama, but Drama was also someone I don't really count and what I'm about to say because unless I'm ignorant. Drama when I got hip to drama mixtapes, and for me, the first drama mixtape I ever had was T.I.'s Down with the King from like '03 or '04.
Yeah.
That drama was sort of a hybrid. He was a DJ hosting a mixtape, but it would usually be with one artist, and that artist would
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I could feel that. It
yeah, you know what I
wasn't
mean?
it wasn't traditional like a
Yeah,
traditional.
yeah. It was more like what 50 Cent did the 2, 3 years prior, where 50 was revolutionary and being, all right, I'm the artist and I'm gonna run this mixtape. Me and my clan, and we're gonna dominate tracks 1 through 20. We're not gonna have various people like Clue. What Clue would do is Clue would have a mixtape where he would curate. So track 1 is Fabulous, track 3 is an unreleased Jay-Z song, track 5 is a DMX freestyle, and track 12 is a Nelly single that can't come out because of sample clearances or whatever. So like he would have various joints from different artists, and it was a playlist of that time. It was a playlist, but it was for the streets. So that was the mixtape era I grew up in, and it would always be sprinkled with freestyles here and there. So what Cole did last Monday is he dropped a Blizzard theme because he lives in New York City where we had the Blizzard last week, and it was his birthday on the 28th. He shares the same birthday with Rakim. But he dropped a mixtape, a DJ Clue inspired, DJ Clue hosted mixtape. 4 tracks, 4 freestyles, all over classic Bad Boy era beats, Bad Boy production. So he did the Money Power Respect, he did Who Shot Ya, he did the Locks, Black Rob, Can I Live, and he did the Puffy and Biggie Victory. And it was entertaining because he definitely was responding to people. Track 1, the victory joint, he's responding to academics and people who were mocking him for he said himself, I used to be top seed until the apology and I dropped out or whatever, and but you can't doubt me or something like that. I'm butchering his line. Sorry, Cole. But he definitely addressed things like that, like his standing in the rap game, especially now that his name is a popular topic of discussion because Fat Joe and Jada spoke about him recently. Fat Joe was harsh on him. I don't know if you saw that clip, Andy. Fat Joe was hard. Fat Joe was so many random people I've been harsh on him the last
All
year and a
right,
half.
so hold on before you go any deeper. So how is somebody supposed to come back from that? So all right, I hear all the analogies everybody's making. Everybody's saying he had the chance to fight, he didn't want to fight, so you can't come back around talking about you're the best boxer.
Do you disagree? Do you disagree with that? Do you disagree with that notion? Is it silly? Is it weird? Or is it apropos?
I don't think it's silly and it's weird. I understand it. I understand it. But I don't think J. Cole didn't want to get into the beef because he didn't want to because he didn't want to go against the lyricism of Kendrick or Drake. I think he didn't want look at all the bullshit that Drake is going through because of that beef. Here and there, you're suing this, suing that. That battle rap caused Kendrick to say a line, pedophile. That caused a big old thing. The digging up mud of each other. It's like what if J. Cole I'm a positive guy. I just don't want to get into the mud slinging that y'all go at, when it comes to battling. But I'm still nice though. Like I'm still nice. You're not gonna take that away from me. But I just don't want to mudsling with y'all. Is that wrong of me?
Let me just say that I don't know if it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong, but I will say this though. Well, let me say a few things. One, Glasses Malone who's a LA native, a Crip member, and a hip hop artist himself. He has maintained like Dot is my boy, and I fuck with Dot. And let me just tell you, yeah, Dot's positive. He's socially black conscious, all that stuff. But don't get fucked up. Dot is a bully too. He likes this shit, and he likes to compete. And I said to say this: you can either live your life to be offensively minded or defensively minded. You can live on offense, you can live on defense. I feel like Cole, as deadly as an MC as he is a defensive person. He will defend himself if he has to. He will defend his name and rep and honor if he has to. But
That's
I
what I'm
don't.
saying. So it's like I'm the kid in school. I'm not gonna start fights. I'm not gonna start a fight. I'm not gonna go back and forth cursing at a nigga that's gonna start a fight. But if you run up on me, I'ma knock your ass out. You feel me? So it's like y'all mad at me because I wasn't in the gym rowdy and getting it, when everybody was about to fight. I didn't hop in the circle and fight too. No, I didn't want to fight.
But he did do it. That's the problem. That's where I would say, Cole, you did do that though. He did release a record. That's the only thing that he gets got on. Like if he was being pressured to do it and he didn't say anything, that's different. Guys, you can't force a man to respond or to say something if you don't want to. But he felt compelled to. Why? Because apparently, I guess he felt like the like that verse was enough at him. When really, if you go back to this like that, it was really for Drake.
Yeah,
The
it's for Drake, but
for all my dogs and
the top, it was the ain't no big three, it's just big me. Like
that
that
was a
was really it. That
that
was
was
really it.
Bailey and I don't and I would ask and hopefully a journalist gets the opportunity to ask Cole, was that really enough for you to jump off the ledge and go make a beat, write the lyrics, mix the song, master it, put it on a tape, and then 2 days later say, you know what? I'm good, my bad. It's like you
What song are we referencing?
the track towards Kendrick. Remember he made a track of the Might Delete Later mixtape. Remember 2024 he dropped the mixtape. Remember
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cole and I forgot the name. 7 minute drills, 7 minute freestyle drills, 7 minute.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
That was
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
now it's for
yeah.
Dot. Now it's for him.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. I
he
remember
did
that. I do
he
remember that. And
he
he was
did throw
talking spicy.
he
Yes,
was
I
getting
do
that homie.
remember.
He was getting that done, and I'm sure he was told, "Yo, yo, yo, this ain't about you. We're getting at your boy here." Now you're standing next to him while he's being spicy. We really shooting at
He's
your
like
boy.
I feel like this.
He
I
jumped
feel
off the
this like this.
ledge. He
I
jumped off the
feel like
ledge.
I feel like I feel like Kendrick dropped like that, and J. Cole probably had no, hold on one second. He probably had his people around him, and
Gassing
his
it.
people was gassing him. His people telling him like, "Yo, you gotta respond." So he respond, but deep down in his heart, he said like, "Nah, this ain't me. Like that wasn't right." And
Human nature. I get it, and I think it was brave of him to admit that openly to his fans on camera. At his festival. But I would also implore him, like, bro, like if you throw a punch out there, you gotta expect that people are gonna be like judging you for that if you immediately renege on your punch. It's like you already threw a punch. Take the lick back properly, and then it's squashed. But you didn't even allow that. So there is that aspect to it too. But like I said, this should have been over and done with a while ago. But unfortunately, with his name lately, whenever it comes up, people cling to this notion like, I don't want to hear you're the best no more. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. You had an opportunity to show me. You had an opportunity to show me. And I would say it's a little unfair because there's MCs out there who never claim to be a battle dude or just they never claim to get into tension with people to prove themselves, but they're still regarded as one of the goats. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be battle tested to be a great artist. So I I fault people who try to say that he needed this battle, he needed it. But I will tell Cole too, you do be talking spicy on record saying, I'll kill a nigga rap wise, not literally. But I'll bar a nigga up, I'll kill a nigga. People will say, well, you had an opportunity. You had an opportunity to prove yourself. I don't want to hear that no more from you. Just talk about palm trees and daffodils and talk about like the happy stuff. You know, get your bohemian hat on and get the bongos and be positive. We don't want to hear no more confrontational music from you. We don't want to hear it because you had a chance to be confrontational and you reneged on it. So I understand that. I'm not mad at people who feel that way. I'd say, get over it, guys. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I get it. I
He
get it.
can he can he can like y'all mad because he dropped music. My man could drop music.
I agree. I
I
agree.
just think he dropped a mixtape, but I guess I didn't even listen to it yet. He dropped it, and I guess people are mad because they feel like he's addressing all the stuff that he should have addressed a long time ago.
More or
Which
less.
now that goes into whole Meek Mill back to back. Like, do I have to respond when y'all want me to respond? What if I want to respond a year later, 2 years later? You know, I don't know. I honestly just think that, he's nice. This is his passion, and he doesn't want to get into the bullshit that rap gets. That's why do you see him on podcasts, interviews, and this and that? He's taking the Jay-Z route. I'm going to take the Jay-Z and Beyonce route. Stay away from all the nonsense. That way your name won't be in the headlines, this, that, and this. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
yeah, he had his little thing with Diddy or whatever, but he don't be into that. And I think as the years go by, he's getting older, more mature, and it's still like, yeah, I still want to work on my craft. I still want to make
Right.
music, but I'm not gonna fall into all the bullshit.
I mean, listen, unpopular opinion, and I think diss tracks and battle records are a waste of time. I think they're ultimately a waste of time. I think they're ultimately a waste of real estate on an album. You know what I'm saying? Rarely does a battle record or diss track get placed on the album, and it's deservedly should be on the album. Like if it fits a flow of a narrative of the album. Rarely. You know what I'm saying? Usually these are records that shouldn't be like discussed for long, if at all. I think it's a waste of time. Ultimately, I think that like you rarely get to like go back and just vibe off of this track. Like, oh, this means a lot to me. Come here, son. Come here, Timmy. Let me tell you where I was and how this record meant to me as a battle. It's like, it's not that serious. It's not. It's not as artistically touching as it should be. So it's not that serious to me. So I implore people, you're wasting your time. Rap battle it. Just stick to your craft and work on finding yourself as an artist and finding your voice. But men gonna be men. Men are like, alpha male. I gotta prove myself. I gotta show that I'm better than so and so. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that's about. But anyway, speaking of music, earlier this weekend, and I think today was it, we were talking because there's been a hot topic in the hip hop world about a scenario of Lloyd Banks versus Fabulous and who will come out the victor. And just so you know, just so people know, it's kind of been ambiguous about how it would happen. Whether is it a versus, is it an on stage battle, or like traditional just rapping lyricism?
Matters. All of that matters.
Yeah, sure. And it's been a hot topic of conversation for like a few months now, where people are just curious about it. Who would win? Who would win? I am someone. You know what? Let me take Banks out of this. I think Fab is ill as a lyricist, as a pet metaphor, simile, double entendres, all that stuff. I think he's nice. He's super nice. I think he's one of the illest people we've had in the last 25 years. But my own boys in my group chat, remember, these are New York native people. They'll tell you, I'll take Young Jeezy's catalog. And they hate when I say this. I'll take Jeezy's catalog over Fabulous's any day of the week. And they hate, these are New York men. They hate when I say this.
Fab don't have a strong catalog.
Exactly. I'm trying to tell you. So like, I'm trying to tell people like, go to the recession. Go listen to TM 101, of course. Go listen to Jeezy has steadily over the years given you albums where it's like he got joints on there. He's saying something.
You remember the nigga in high school that was you might go to the park. He was in school though, but he was nice. He was nice in basketball.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on the team. You know what I mean? He didn't pursue basketball in college.
Right.
But when he played them pickup games at Rucker Park,
He would
the
dazzle.
nigga was nice. He was balling. Everybody know he was not to be fucked with. That's Fab.
I
That's
agree.
Fab. And people want to judge him like, yo, you didn't go to the league. You ain't this or that. It's like, boy, y'all forgot. Y'all must have forgot.
So, and you feel passionate about this because you would pick Fab in a scenario against Banks. Why is that?
I am going off of something current. Them right now, like what we shared in the DMs. If each of them went to a freestyle and did a freestyle, new freestyle right now, and this was the versus freestyle to judge, Fab is gonna come bar for bar. Fab is gonna come out on top. I think he's just gonna come with more double entendres, more shit that's gonna make you say, damn, than Banks. And to me, that's what's gonna win it in a battle.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair to say. That's fair to assume. And I don't have a problem with that. Fab is someone that I follow since like junior high school. He came out in the mixtape scene, that same cool era we talked about. He was out there in like 1998, making a name for himself. And his first album came out in 2001. So he worked the mixtape circuit for 3 years, making a name for himself with the freestyles, with the street records. And it was finally he got on with the debut album and on 9/11. And from then on, he was able to make hit records, at least in the urban market where, I really want to be with you. And he would make like to me, he was a poor man's version, artist wise, not lyricism, but artist wise, he was a poor man's version of what Mace gave me in junior high school. Mace was a dude who was also from the mixtapes. And then once he got on with Puff, he gave you a 4 times platinum debut album where he had records for girls. You know what I mean? Like he was able to like give you like LL-esque version of just like records where like women could provide to, but also he had the respect of dudes who were MCs. You know what I'm saying? Mace was a dude who in one calendar year he'll give you hit records for women, but then he'll get on a DMX album and have the best verse amongst the lots and X. So he'll kill your head off with the lyricism, but then he'll come back and do something for the ladies. That was Mace. Now Mace dropped out the game early because he felt like he had other duties with his spirituality. But so when Fab picked up that mantle, he kept on going with that formula. To, in my opinion, a poor extent, but nonetheless, he had hit records. The song with Tamia, first Ashanti, then Tamia, So Into You. Records like that sustained Fab in the 2000s. So he knew how to make records. My favorite Fab song is Breathe, which is like a street anthem. He has records for sure, but just want to say, with all that being said, with all the respect due, I just feel like you said the word current just a little while ago. You said current. I think currently, and by the way, not even currently, before currently, in the 2000s, in the late 2010s ish, Fab also had a great mixtape run. He came back to his mixtapes with the Soul Tape series, and there's another series he had too, like where he had There's No
Summer. There's
Competition.
something with the summer.
The summer one was cool, but there's another one. It's like the funeral joint. Like there's no competition. I forget what it's called. What's up, girl? You gotta have it. You be killing them. He had a run where like the funeral.
You know,
Yeah, the it's like someone did like funeral. So he had moments, mixtape moments in the 2010s too.
Friday
Like
night freestyles.
well, he had the Friday Night Freestyle, but wherever he had the You Be Killing Them, girl, You Be Killing Them, whatever that was on, there was a whole series where he was like, um, he was definitely back on his mixtape game. And he definitely did a good job of There's No Competition. That's what it's called.
There's no competition. I was just about
Yeah, so that's that series. He also was that was November 23rd, 2010. Jesus. So he was also showing that like, he still can get back on the mixtape scene and make a name for himself. So I respect that. But I also feel like people don't recognize or don't know how Banks has kind of reinvented himself, where he came out as a G Unit soldier, literally, and then he got success on his own. He got platinum on his own and stuff like that. But in the and then he had the whole mixtape series, Money in the Bank. He sustained up the years, just freestyling and just dropping tapes here and there. But in the last 5, 6 years, he's kind of reinvigorated himself. Where he has a series called the Cody series. I forgot what Cody stands for. But it's taken him to different heights where now he's like outside of the G Unit umbrella on his own, you know, building his
I
reputation.
went to his page and I well, his thing on Apple Music when you told me to tap into his music, and I didn't listen to it, but I just skimmed through like 2 or 3 songs of, The Six Swords. So I heard like a couple of the beats. I hear, there is definitely different styles of beats. It's not just gangster stuff, so I
Oh,
don't know.
he's got a lot more
Versatile.
versatile and a lot more vulnerable. He's gotten a lot more vulnerable the years as now he's a parent now and whatnot. So he's got a lot more vulnerable. So it's different with that vulnerability. It comes a different aspect of his lyricism. He also gets to inject the same punchlines and similes within a new arena of content. So it kind of means more to him now, and it means more to his fan base, I guess. And he's been able to like now be an independent artist where he doesn't need the machine now to support him. Where there are some people out there, some would say Fab is one of them, but there are some people out there who feel they still need the archaic model of major label run. I need a major label backing. I need the look. I need the promotion. I need you to I cannot just build a fan base on my own no more. I need the support. I can't have a word of mouth conversation about my music no more. I need the machine to help that word of mouth. That's where sometimes I feel like Fab is at right now, artistically. I feel like he's kind of stagnant. But to your point, sometimes that don't matter if we're doing a straight battle, if we're doing a straight, straight up verses or whatever. Just come with what you have already. Come with your sharpest skill set thus far, and let's see who the crowd likes more. I get it. I get it. I get it. I just feel like you may see throughout that performance, like you may have a locks Dipset situation where you thought going into it, "Oh, no, Dipset has the look. They have the look. They
Yeah,
have the
it could be.
they have
I could see the possibility.
that
But
style."
I just know, man, when he wants to, when Fab wants to, he gonna put in the work.
Well, I gotta go back and watch the Fab versus Jada versus. They did a versus already, Fab and
Yeah,
Jada.
I remember that. I remember that.
And I don't remember studying it too closely, but I remember just not being impressed by the selection Fab had. And on the flip side, Jada was, I guess, drunk that night, so he was having fun just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
playing his records, being drunk. He saved
Jada wins that anyway.
Yeah, Jada has once you done records with Big and Puff in them, and you got it's just like it's hard to
Fab just didn't work hard enough. Fab didn't put in as much work in as, I'm sure the Locks probably got double the amount of mixtapes Fab got.
Yeah, right. Just content period. So it wasn't a fair fight where maybe this is more appropriate Banks versus Fab. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it happens. I'm of the belief that like it shouldn't happen because it's not natural. What I mean by that is if there was like some underlying like not animosity, but if there was like some underlying like tension or like rivalry between those two, then I would say, yeah, go for it. Settle it. But if it's just coming out of thin air because fans are bored, that's not for me, that's not enough. That's not enough to like for it to happen. You know what I'm saying? I want there to be like a reason it's happening. You know what I'm saying? You
I
know,
mean, I think that's how a lot of the verses got started was people just talking about, Swiss Beats or Timberland, who got better beats, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't see Fab. I don't know. He did it. He did it already. He did it already. So I don't know. This would be a good look for Banks, but I don't know. We'll see if somebody gonna put the money up for it to happen.
I'm gonna go study. I'm gonna go study that Fab and Jada versus
But
again.
yeah, I don't want it to be a versus where we're doing our old songs. I don't not that. No.
Really?
No, I don't want that. I want
Why
to
not?
be Fabs because it would be a whole bunch of mixtape stuff from both of them.
Which speaks to how which kind of speaks to a few things. How much they weren't able to
Transition,
transition to like a major
mainstream.
artist, major artist output, and also like how also they're kind of victims of the 2000s. What I mean by that is in the 2000s the industry kind of changed where they were in a the industry itself was in a transition period where they went from CDs being a viable option to buy music to CDs cratering, and it took a few years before Apple and iTunes found a new way to make artists viable again to sell their music. So remember, there's a pocket in the mid 2000s where there was artists who weren't able to catch up because the industry changed on them. So Stat Quo, Joel Ortiz, Saigon, Papoose, Jay Mills. I'm sure there's selling artists. There's a lot of artists who they were like stuck in this moment where like, wait, what are we doing now? Are we selling CDs or are we not? What are we doing now? MP3s, what's that? Oh my God, my album just got bootlegged immediately. And I mean, like I can't recoup what's going on here. And my boss, or not my boss, but my label doesn't know how to market me because they're losing jobs left and right because the industry is shrinking. So there's an area of like a lot of artists who they got screwed over in that time and they didn't know how to transition well. And I would say to a lesser extent, even though Fab had hit records, he probably would have benefited more coming out now or coming out in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Because like you figure like with the blog era, the Kid Cudis, the Kendrick Lamars, J. Cole's, Drake's, that was a market correction of like, okay, now we know how to sell this music. iTunes is ready for us. You can download the mixtapes on the blogs to prepare you. The blogs are the new DJ Clues. You know what I'm saying? They're the new Funk Flexes. So we will market it with the blogs, and then now we'll sell it on iTunes. And so now we have an infrastructure ready. Where 5, 10 years ago, for Stat Quo, for Saigon, his album got pushed back or defunct because we didn't know how to sell it yet because MP3s are killing us. So remember, there's a pocket of people in that time frame. They were just like bad timing to come out, bad timing. So, market correction happened with the blog era. And if Fab came out in 09, 2010, he probably would have been killing right now. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. Same with Banks, but we'll see. We'll see. I
Hopefully,
mean,
hopefully it happens.
is this a conversation that lives online, or do you see people talk about it in Atlanta, or they don't matter?
I mean, I haven't been in those. I haven't been in a crowd where people would talk about Lloyd Banks and Fabulous. I'm around tech people all day.
You mean tech as in like technology, or is it artist name tech? What do you mean tech?
Technology.
Oh, technology. Well, I asked that because I know you work at Fan Base doing content, shooting shows there with Isaac Hayes III. Shout out to him. Let me ask you, in your travels lately, working at Fan Base, and even outside of Fan Base, just in the city, who are some of the most popular artists right now in the city that are making noise that you know?
In Atlanta, once again, we had the last time we were live, same conversation. In Atlanta, there's a lot of young kids that people are subscribed to that I'm not. So I can't tell you that.
Got
But
tapped into them.
the biggest is like IK niece. She's a female
My
who,
K niece.
yeah, she was on Take Me Through There. Take Me Through There.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she was on a song with Quavo. You've heard the sound.
Okay.
You've heard the
Okay.
sound from Instagram or TikTok before.
Okay.
But
Take me through
IK
there.
niece, Bunna B, she's a girl, and there's another girl. Damn, I forgot her name. Skinny girl. But maybe last year they ran the rap game. Lotto.
Okay, so speaking of Lotto, I see 21 Savage is beefing with 5 Year Foreign or something like that. I'm just like, these guys are clowns.
All that shit is stupid, man. They mad because he said fuck the streets. Like, that shit is retarded. Why? Listen how brainwashed we are. Especially someone like 504. You in New York. How many countless RICOs or arrests have there been for different gang members?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you still wanna, you know what I'm saying? How many people have died and you still wanna the streets made me? Oh, if a nigga wanna say fuck the streets, hey, let him move on and grow. Why you wanna beef with him now because he's saying fuck the streets and this, that, and the third, and you talking to academics saying, oh, he's not a street nigga. You don't know what he's done.
Right, right. Right.
You don't know what he's done. The same way only niggas from your hood know if you shot a nigga. Only niggas from his hood that been around him know if he shot a nigga. And you know what I mean? Like if you ask around town, they used to slaughter gang. They like that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know what has happened, but
Even if they weren't like that, my thing is Fabio, you're 35, 36 years old. You just came home from a jail bid or whatever it was. It's like you need to have your life in order before you comment on other people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
this
Like
is all
what's
they have. This is all they have. And then these days, I don't be knowing if people be doing that because it's the algorithm, you know, and they're going to get engagement. You know, this is probably the most people have been sharing 504 clips is of him talking about 21 Savage. You know what I mean?
be honest, as a New York native, I don't know one 5-year four song. I don't
You
know.
tripping. You
I don't
tripping.
know one 5
I
year
was on,
four.
I was on, I was on him. I was on Fabio when he first was buzzing, you know what I mean? I
Believe
was
you.
on him. He was dope. It was dope. And then it started getting repetitive. Like everything is the same. All that drill music is the same. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah. It don't sound like it's ready to evolve it as a genre or
he
subgenre.
had a different Fabio had a different flow. Fabio, like when he first came out, he had a different flow and was like, I don't know, I can't explain it. I would have to pull up a song, but he was just a little different. That's why he popped. That's why he popped in his that's why we even talking about him now. Something about the way he rapped was a little bit different. It was never no lyrical, like he wasn't the most lyrical nigga. It was very basic, but it was something different with his flow. That's why everybody liked him and fuck with his music. Beat selection was dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, anyway, boys will be boys, I guess. Boys will be boys.
Yeah,
So
all that shit is whack. If you going online and you talking to a nigga online, beefing with him, that's corny. You whack. You whack.
I'll tell you, last night was a big fight in the boxing world. It was Shakur Stevenson from Newark, New Jersey versus Teofimo Lopez, a Honduran kid from Brooklyn slash Florida, really Florida. Um, and it was a when the fight first got signed, I thought it would be like a popular boxing fight for like boxing heads. But then I guess after a while it got notoriety where like people from like this media in general were interested. And it was at the Garden at MSG in New York City and Manhattan. So it was at the Garden at MSG. And it was last night and it was a popular event. So my boy at Yonkers, he hosted like a little fight party. So I went to go to his crib to support. It was low key in Yonkers, it was chill. And I want to tell you, as I was watching the fight or watching the card, well, first of all, let me tell you, early that night, I had to go to a bar in the Bronx for my coworker's birthday. So I went to go support her first, like around 6 o'clock, 6:30. And from there, went to my boy's crib in Yonkers, like around 9:30ish. So let me tell you, I'm outside the house from like 6 to like the fight. Mind you, boxing fights don't start well, boxing cards start like around 7 o'clock, but usually the main event, if it's a pay-per-view, that they don't walk out till like 11:30 to midnight. That's because they wanna attract the West Coast pay-per-view buyers. You know what I'm saying? So they push as long as they can for the West Coast money. So if it's midnight on the East Coast, it's gonna be like what, 9 o'clock on the West. So they want to make sure they can get every buy as they can. With that being said, yo, I just want you to know, as someone who turned 40 2 months ago, and someone and yourself who's turning 40 this year, I just want you to know now more than ever, I'm washed. Like I am washed. And what I mean by that is, yo, my eyes were getting heavy like around 11 o'clock at my boys' crib, or like 10 years ago.
That's too
10,
late. 11?
yeah.
I'm already dreaming.
Yeah, but
Those I remember those when we used to do that. Even like Super Bowl, you know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Used to be up. It used to be a whole thing, Super Bowl party, and now I'm sleep before the game even start.
Yes, that is me. And I was fighting my eyes to stay open in the undercards because I was like, I gotta make it to the main event. I gotta make it to the main event. The main event didn't start till like 11:45 midnight. I'm like, yo, what the hell? So like I was basically nodding off in my boy's couch trying to stay up for the fight. And then the fight ended, I was in and out the fight, like awake. And then when the fight ended, it didn't end till like 1:30. So then mind you, just like remember, it's a blizzard that we just had last week. So the road's still icy. And Yonkers is a city where it's a lot of hills, a lot of hills. So you gotta be careful with the ice. So I'm trying to drive back home to the Bronx from Yonkers, and it's like, yo, my eyes are killing me. Trying to stay awake, trying to be alert. And I made it home, of course. I was good, but I realized, yo, man, I'm a washed individual, and you can't actually go outside for too much now at 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I
Well,
come out for you,
you can. It just got to be early. You can't.
yeah, it could be early. Yeah,
It's gotta be early.
right, right. With the caveat, it's early because let me tell you, if I come outside for you and it's past 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and I'm coming outside at that time for you, just know either I'm holding you down, doing a huge favor because you needed it, or I must really fuck with you because I'm trying to be home like by 9:30. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm washed, bro. I'm washed, cuz I don't know how you be right now when you be outside. When you be outside, like, do you be like counting the time? Do you be like like monitoring it, or do you be like just go with the flow?
Yep. Last to arrive, first to leave.
Last to arrive, first to leave.
Yes. I don't even go out much, but if I do, I'm in there. Hey, what's up? See my face? I'm out.
What about how were you in your 20s? Were you
It was different. It was different back in the day. Back in the day, I'm staying there all night. I'm staying there till the club close, after hours, you parking lot pimping, you just outside. Even like what we was talking about, Super Bowl parties, Grammy nights. It used to be a whole thing, event. Now I could care less. I don't care.
yo, I remember having you said parking lot pippin. I remember just like it'd be like 2 a.m. And we'd be like, "Where we going next? What diner? Where we going to next?" Like just wide-eyed energy, just like just not a care in the world. What we doing next? And like I come home like at 4:30. Yo, I had a job at Home Depot that was next to a club, like
Oh
right next
my
to it.
gosh. I would
So
bring my change of clothes to work.
so I remember me, and my coworker, shout out to Sevy, it's like '04. We would leave the bar, leave the club, and just walk right down like a block and a half to work, just stumbling but like ready to work, like ready to work.
Leave the club and then go to work.
Yeah. Yeah, just go straight to work, like just like chilling, like we tired because we were out all night, but we are ready to work, we're alert. Like, all right, we'll go to work and then we'll go home and sleep it off.
Yeah, I remember those nights. I remember those nights. College, right after college, forget 1 hour of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, go right into work, and can't do that shit no more.
Yeah, I can't I can't even spell the word party without getting tired. Like, I'm just like, "Nah, man, like, I just can't do it no more, I can't hang no more." And, I don't know, like, it's a good thing because, sleep is valuable,
You
sleep will
see
save
me?
your
I
life.
just yawned.
Yeah, right? Yeah, yeah, you just I be yawning too, man. Yeah. Yeah, sleep nowadays, sleep is a top 5 hobby in my life, like, I love to
Yeah,
sleep.
it's the best. I love it. I'm taking my nap.
Yeah, I take my naps too. I took a nap earlier today. I took a nap, but with Charlie. But yeah, man, I realized last night, like, yo, I can't hang no more. I can't do this no more. And I know this for like a few years now. For at least 10 years, I've known this. Like, I can't do this no more. And by 30s, I couldn't do it no more. So really, my last hurrah was like 27, 28, 29. I was outside, like, you getting tired now.
The fights is crazy too, cause it's like the fights, I wanna see the fight, but it's not gonna start till 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up a boxing fan, so, like, when my late 20s into 30s hit, I had to, I used to plan for fights. So, like, if I knew a fight was gonna happen and it was, like, 6 o'clock at night or, like, 5 o'clock in the evening, I would take a nap just for the fight. So, I would, like, close the blinds to get my pillow ready. I would take a nap just to plan for the fight, so when I wake up, like, around 9 o'clock, I have a burst of energy. And even then, I'm like, "Ah." I've been there, man. Hurry up. So yeah, man, we getting old, man. We getting washed. But yo, it's gonna be your 40th this year. How do you feel?
I haven't even thought about it, honestly. I know I want to do something. I
You
want to
do.
do something big. I need to plan now so I can send people like you the invite.
You do. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna do something big and put it together. Me, I don't care what it is. I just want everybody to be together. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. It'd be
That's
nice.
just on me.
It'd be nice. You should celebrate your 40th because it's a milestone. Just yesterday we were kids and now you've grown up. I'm sure life has taught you a lot. Is there anything in life right now, turning 40 this year, that you feel like you're either thankful for that you experience or you want to experience and haven't gotten the chance to yet? I know it's a heavy question.
If there's anything that I want to experience,
Let me tell you right now, bro. Parenting, overrated. Stay on that side, bro.
maybe that's the
Stay,
only
stay on that side.
maybe that's the only thing. Maybe would love to try that one day. Maybe possibly if it's for me.
You like free time?
Yeah, no, that's why I don't have any kids now because I knew once you do, that's it. You don't have
It's a
no more.
wrap. It's a
Yeah,
wrap.
I know that. I knew that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll come to you, but yeah, man, when you turn 40, you either reflect on what you have done and what was meaningful to you, or what you've been a part of or experienced, whether it was different seasons of people, different seasons of like adventures or things you attempted, or you reflect like, damn, I didn't do this yet, I didn't do that yet. I thought I wanted to do this, but I didn't after all care for it. Like, something to reflect about what time has meant for you. And I want to tell you that as you turn 40 this year, really do some reflection on what's important for you going forward because these next 10 years will truly define your adulthood. You know what I'm saying? It will truly define everything else was like a preparation. The 40 decade is a decade where it's like, all right, things are supposed to come into place. You know what I'm saying? Or at least get the ball rolling and for things to come into place. So, I think this
Is
should
there
be a good.
anything that you wanted to do that you didn't do?
I always wanted to make an economy for myself off of music. As someone who's a music lover, someone who dipped and dabbled in my adolescence with music making just for as a hobby. In the 2000s, I kind of like didn't take it as serious because I was just swayed by the change of the industry where music became less valued because of the consumers piracy and all that stuff. And I felt like there's no more of a legit way of making music no more that is what I was used to growing up to. But that was also me in my own head with doubts and also me in my own head not willing to push myself to acquiesce with the times. There's no reason why a 24-year-old in '09 and me could have just said, all right, the blahs is the new era of music. Let me just now dust off my keyboard and really make stuff for this era of the industry.
Well, no need to dwell on the past. At least now, at least now that you picked it up and you are doing so.
Yeah, I picked it up in the last recent year or so. I picked it up and shout out to my boys, Will and Kervin. They're directors who shoot for a PBS show called Maximum Health, with Dr. Ken Gray, and they brought me on as a producer, consultant, and artist for the show. So I contributed music to season 1 and 2, and they're gonna shoot season 3 next month. So I have music already lined up for that as well. So that to me is a start. It's a good start because it's an
Great
op-
start. A
yeah, it's an
great start. Don't
yeah,
don't be don't be shy. Don't be humble. It was
no,
great. Like, you were able to make some money from your
exactly
production early on.
right. And honestly, it's the opportunity I kinda always kinda did want. Like, I don't wanna be a artist per se where I'm a performing artist. I don't wanna be at the Grammys, Grammy night. I don't wanna have to travel and tour. I'll do it if duty calls, but what I've always wanted was to be a producer/engineer, and I've also wanted to have music licensed, you know? Like, I wanna have, like, music so good where it'll get licensed in a TV show. It'll get licensed for a Target commercial.
And it happened. It came
Yeah,
to reality.
yeah, now I'm a PBS. So I want that, I want that. Or I liked how Ryan Coogler, he works with a dude named Ludwig, I forgot his last name, but they make scores together and he did Sinners as well, the dude. And I want to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, well, I'm a big cinephile, which means I grew up watching a lot of movies, a lot of films. And I've always studied Danny Elfman, who's a notorious 30, 40-year composer for various films. Damn near all the films that you've seen. Um, I want that because he could just stay at the crib, make music to a movie he just saw, and he was tasked to see, as a project, and then he makes the score for it, and then it wins his own awards, it wins his own Grammys, and he gets checks off of that, off the licensing of it. I want that economy. I don't want to be a performer. I have no interest in being a performer. Can I write? Yes. Can I MC? I think so. But do I want to be out there, at 40 years old? Yo, 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 check it out. I don't have that kind of passion. And I think people who do have that passion to perform, they are a different breed of people. You know what I'm saying? People who have the gall to get on stage and just like show their bravado, their confidence through their performance. That's a unique talent and skill that I applaud them for. I've never had interest in that. I've never had interest in the performance. Creative creation, yes. Performance, not really. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens on that end. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Wish me luck, yeah.
Yeah,
Wish me luck.
keep going,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, you're off to an amazing start.
Do you want to say anything about your girl, your Trinidadian queen, sucking out the Trump, tap dancing to Trump before we get out of here?
Only thing we know, I think we all know why. It's like some people say she was running out of money. We don't know her money status, but she was an illegal immigrant. She was an illegal citizen. She heard Trump was pardoning people. He pardoned people like Kodak Black. You know what I mean?
Part of
Pardon
Rocky, I
people.
think. Like Rocky, it's not Rocky or something like that. He part of.
Another one, NBA young boy, you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, Trump is fucking with the rappers. Let me, cause she can bring something to Trump too. She's bringing all her fan base, everybody that supports her. She's bringing that to Trump. So she lost a lot of followers, but we know she needed her green card, and we know that her husband and her brother may need to be pardoned sometime in the future.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I mean, what's shameful about this is, you watch what's going on the last few months with our president, how there's ice on the ground that's taking people away and killing people. And then you got presidents being ousted from their countries like Venezuela. Recently, like two Trinidadian people in the water who were fishermen, they got bombed or a missile strike a few months ago because Trump claimed they were drug dealers, but there's no proof of that or whatever. And now that those families are suing the Trump administration for wrongful death or whatever, it's like, I thought you were a proud Trinidadian woman, and here you are. You have your countrymen who got killed by Trump recently, and you're willing to go up and suck up to dude for your own benefit, where you got people from your island who are going through it over Trump. It's like it's interesting. It's interesting how people fold for their own situations. People will fold and tap dance for their own benefit, where it's like it's very rare nowadays you see people who do a lot of self-sacrificing for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? I think she's a perfect example of that. If you notice, I haven't said her name. I don't think that she deserves for me to say her name. And more importantly, I won't say her name because she has a crazy
Fan
lit
base.
fan base. They are certifiable crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're nutty. But, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think we're in an era now where like either you're involved as a person, an artist, or you just stand to the side. And if you stand to the side, I kind of judge you in a way because I feel like I'm not saying you gotta be Dr. King out here. But I do feel like if you're a person who's out there, a constituent, someone who pays your taxes, you deserve to know what's going on in your community. You know what I'm saying? And you need to like actually take part and using your power to address shit. But that's a whole nother conversation. It's a whole nother
We'll
conversation.
save that for the next one.
Yeah, for the next one. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. But real quick, I know you're a diehard Tip fan, Ti fan. I saw he tried to do a stand up comedy hour, and then recently, and now he got the new single Pharrell. What's going on with
I
this?
didn't listen to the new single. I heard a lot. I see the comments. People are like, "Oh yeah, Tip is back." I'm not. I can't. I see the corny. I will always see the corny. Even when he's rapping, he can sound good, all that, but I'm always just gonna see the corny shit that he has done or said. And yeah, I just can't get over it. I'm a big T.I. hater.
No, you are. That's why I said that, Jim. I'm someone who, in the 2000s, like I said, I mentioned him earlier with the mixtape with DJ Drama. So, I'm someone who always followed his journey in the 2000s. The 2000s. Once the 2010s came, I was like, I was off of it. He had like one hit that I really recognized, the Joey Young Thug, All About the Money. I was like, okay, that's cool, it's cute. He was quiet then after that for a while. I mean, he would drop songs on his own here and there, but I didn't care for him. But then he tried comedy for a while, and I heard some comedians not giving him. They said it was like funny in a bad way, like it's just not cool, or not good. But I commend somebody for going on stage though. So
Yeah.
like I said,
Hats
I'm
off for
not.
being brave and trying something new. You didn't think your age, you didn't let your age hold you back. You didn't let anything hold you back. Anything any of the naysayers would
Right,
say,
right.
you didn't let that hold you back. You tried it. You're doing it. You had a special, I think it was.
Yeah, he
But
did.
it's like you got a special. You wearing the fucking Michael, the Eddie Murphy, like
Yeah, you doing them. You doing
you
a
ain't reached that level yet, Tip. You're doing too much, bro. Too much. And that's what I'm talking about. That type of corny shit.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But you know what? But listen, it's undeniable that he was deservedly a premier artist during his run, and he had hits. I think he's one of the best artists to come out the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? On the hip hop side. You know what I'm saying? And I think no matter what he does that's corny, we should always recognize that like he got busy. Don't get it twisted. He got busy during his run. You know what I'm
He
saying?
did.
I listen to his catalog more than Wayne's for what it's worth. For what it's worth. That's what I don't really go back to Wayne like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't go back to and Wayne has a longer catalog. Wayne is 14 years old on the scene. You know what I'm saying? I don't really go back to Wayne like that.
No
But
comment.
no comment. I'm gonna leave it at that.
No comment because come on. I could pull up countless Wayne mixtapes, squad up. I could pull up some Wayne mixtapes that I could listen through before I could listen through any Tip album or anything. Like, come
Yeah,
on, forget about it.
really. You
Yeah.
know what? We'll have to say that for another day because we might have to do an impromptu versus one day, Wayne versus Tip. May have to. We may have to. We may have to. Let's just go to.
We need to do that. We need to do our own verses. How
We
about we
should. That's
do
what I'm
this?
saying. That's what.
We
Listen,
do our own verses and
before,
just go
before,
song for song.
we should be. And I said because I remember like around the pandemic era, my boy in the group chat, one of my boys in the group chat, he's an Eminem stan, black dude too, Haitian kid. He's an Eminem stan, and I was telling him I was like, yo, nobody want to hear that shit. Not in the verses for him. Nah, you bugging. I'm like, you kidding me? And then he was like, let's do a verses right now in the group chat. We were doing. So he said, all right. And that's why I took DMX. He was like, DMX is not gonna beat him in a verse, and I had to break it down. Like, listen, and we did it verses, song for song. And then at the end of the group chat, he was like, at the end of the verses, he was like, I guess. So, so sometimes it's about how you play songs or whatever, or what the crowd connects to. But maybe one day we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that soon.
Yeah,
Wayne
yeah.
versus
We need
Tip.
to do that the next one.
All
Do
right,
our own, do our own verses.
all right. Well, till next time. Good looking, cuz. I'll see
All
you.
right,
I'll see you.
cuz. I
Be
see you.
safe.